I sort of like to do 30 shows, get it out of the way, keep your head in that place for that amount of time. And then you get to come home and feel normal, semi-normal for a minute.
Multi-platinum hitmakers Goo Goo Dolls will return early next year for their first Australian headline tour in 20 years. The Summer Anthem Tour will hit Newcastle on the 23rd of February with a setlist full of hits, a few deep cuts and even some covers, with support from Thirsty Merc. Here's our chat with one half of Goo Goo Dolls, Robby Takac. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I'd love to jump straight in. So you've got your first Australian tour in 20 years. Why has it taken you so long to come back?
Well, we were just in Australia with Matchbox 20,
Okay.
Which was, but it was a very abridged set. We were opening for them. We did. It's probably 7 or 8 cities, but it was a very short set, 40 minutes, which is very difficult for a band that's been together for as long as we have, has as many records as we have, as many songs on the radio. It's tough to smash it all into that amount of time. So we're super happy to be coming back and doing our own shows.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be so much more different as a headline show. So can you tell us about how your set's shaping up, considering you have so many songs?
Yeah, well, we have... we have the songs that, have made some sort of impact on the radio and such. So we try to get to most of them. But like I said, in the 40 minutes that we had last time we were there, we really didn't have the time to even address that. So we'll be playing some newer songs and some deeper catalog stuff and, maybe a couple covers thrown in. I don't know, man. We'll see where we go. We'll see where we head. It's coming up in February. We still have a lot of shows between now and then. So we'll see what our set morphs into by February.
Yeah, excellent. And from what I've seen, you're actually working on your 15th album. I'd love to know, what do you feel is being captured from your own lives and experiences within those songs that you're writing?
Well, in the past, we would just sort of stop everything and sort of get into a place and go and make a record, But this time it's been very, very different. We've been kind of playing throughout and sort of stopping when we can to collect ideas. And so John's now pulling his thoughts together in New York. I've been doing the same here in Buffalo for the past few months. And in the next probably few weeks here now, we'll probably start actually laying tracks down for the record and hopefully have some great songs. In fact, I'm sure we'll have some great songs, to play later on this summer. I'm not sure if they'll make their way into the set by February, but we have a huge tour of North America here coming up in the summer. So I think we'll probably be playing them there.
Yeah, I saw those dates. It's a full-on tour. It's going to be like quite a while.
Yeah, it's long. This year for the first time ever, we did 3-4 day stints all year. We never stopped.
Wow.
I had never toured like that before, and I'm not quite sure I like it. Like, I sort of like to do 30 shows, get it out of the way, keep your head in that place for that amount of time. And then you get to come home and feel normal, semi-normal for a minute, sporadic touring. It's, it really takes a lot out of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is it important for you to feel a bit normal for a second in between tours?
Well, we've been doing this our whole lives. Our first record came out in 1986. So, this is, this is an enormous part of what we are and who we are, but I think at the same time, you need to make sure that you have some sort of regular life to escape to every once in a while too. So, I've got a young daughter and a wife and a couple of organizations I work with here in Buffalo where I live. So, there's an awful lot of things, that I do to try to, fill in the parts of me that aren't part of what I do with Goo Goo Dolls,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what do you do? Like, what are those organizations that you work with?
I have a thing called Music is Art that I work with here. It's an organization in Buffalo that promotes the arts here in Buffalo. I have a recording studio here in Buffalo, a little record label that I run as well. So that promotes Japanese bands here in North America. So yeah, like just a lot of stuff.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Why do you love working with Japanese bands?
My wife's from Tokyo, actually. So I got to spend an awful lot of time there, and I became friends with a pretty legendary band called Shonen Knife from Osaka, Japan. And I had been a fan, and I was releasing music anyway. And I sort of fell into releasing a lot of Japanese music for a little while. We have a new Shonen Knife record that just came out, actually. They'll be here in the States in next year in September.
For those people who haven't been over to Japan before, how would you describe the music scene?
Well, it's it's much different. Like, the venues there's a lot of very small venues. They call them live houses there, and they're really small. And bands, it's tough. It's tough to rehearse there. It's tough. It's small, and but there's a pretty rich music scene there. For sure. What we see the most of here in the States is, as I say, we work with bands that come over here. So, it's a bit of a novelty, when the bands come over here, but when it comes right down to it, they're sort of fighting for the same gigs that everybody else is fighting for. So it's tough for them too when they get over here, for sure. But no, it's a great music scene over there. A lot of fun. Goo Goo Dolls haven't been over there in many, many years. We had some shows set up to do in 2020, and of course we know what happened in 2020. So we got to pull that all together again. Yeah,
definitely. Now, Iris has actually just hit 2 billion streams on Spotify, which is absolutely crazy and an absolute testament to your career and what you've created. How does it feel to still be making an impact with your music, and especially a song that was, written a little while back?
Yeah. It's nuts. It's crazy. It was crazy the first time that it happened. We couldn't believe it, and that was prior to Dizzy Up the Girl coming out, which is the album that it was on. It came out on a soundtrack for City of Angels, and it was kind of a hit then. And then we put out our album and it was kind of a hit again. And, now it's like every few months you see it like surge up, like in Spain, it'll end up in the top 10. It'll be like, oh, someone on like Spain's Got Talent must have sung Iris, on television. Or, it'll pop up again and it'll be like, what happened? Oh, Lizzo sang Iris on TikTok,
just keeps coming back.
Or like it was just in like the latest Deadpool movie or, whatever, I think numerous times it's gone into the top 10 in Britain, because someone sang it, on one of the Britain's Got Talent shows or, whatever it is. So, I mean, it's just, it's great. That's the one song that we have that, we know we can pretty much go anywhere and play and like everybody's knows it. Everybody's, on our side. We have an awful lot of songs, but that's the one everybody knows for sure.
Yeah. Do you still like playing it?
Oh yeah. It's super fun, man. Yeah. I mean, you can imagine, everybody's singing and, you're up there playing. It's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's super fun. It's super fun. Like I said, even if like we've been out, we've opened for some pretty huge bands, or should I say been on the bill with some pretty huge bands, when, it's been largely their crowd. Like when you go and you play Rock in Rio with Bon Jovi, it's like they're Bon Jovi fans there, man. It's like just tons of Bon Jovi fans. And, but, and, they're not rude to you, they're into your set and stuff like that. But, you play Iris and it's like, just everybody's in there. If they were skeptics up to them, they're like, oh yeah, okay, I remember these guys.
Yeah, it would definitely unite the audience every time.
Yeah, it does, and it's a great sing along.
Yeah, of course.
And the words are easy.
Yeah. Now, I'd love to ask about the name of this tour, the Summer Anthem Tour. Mm-hmm. How did that come about, and what does it represent to you?
Well, we've been playing these songs for a long time, and when we named the tour initially for the tour in the States that we were going out on this summer, and it was ourselves and the band Dashboard Confessional, and we really felt like both of our bands really sort of like, we've aimed, to write these anthemic kind of songs, and the summertime's a beautiful time of year to be outside, watching music. And so it just sort of, I don't know, it just popped into our heads. And, it, out of the long list of tour names that you'll never hear, that one was the winner. So, but I think it described kind of what we were trying to do, with this, with the summer, with the summer tour, have it be just awesome. That's all.
Yeah, totally. And I think a fantastic band is supporting you too, Thirsty Merc here in Australia. Yeah. How did you get them on the bill?
Well, we were given a list of groups, and we just went down the list and kind of listened to everything, and they just seemed like a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to seeing them play a bunch of shows, man.
Yeah, it should be excellent. I can't wait to have you here in Newcastle on the 23rd of February. Do you have any fond memories, before I let you go, of playing Newcastle or Sydney?
I believe Sydney is where, have you ever heard of a band called the Lime Spiders, an Australian band?
Yes.
Called the Lime Spiders. I sang a Lime Spider song on a record called Boy Named Goo that we put out.
Yeah.
And Mick Blood came to the show, the singer from the band, and to thank me for playing the song, for recording the song on the record. Said he get a check one day, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" He gave me a bunch of old Lime Spiders 7 inches and stuff like that. And this is the first time that we came to Australia. It was probably, I bet you 93, maybe.
Yeah.
95, something like that. It was in there. That's a huge memory for me. We also played some great festivals there. We played with Billy Idol one time, which was great. We've had amazing times there. And this last tour that we did there was great too. It had been, like you said, 20 years, since we had been there. So even though it was such a short set, like you could really, and once again, it wasn't all our crowd, there are definitely a lot of Matchbox fans there that, that were just there catching a Goo Goo Dolls show, but you could feel the energy in the room, and I don't know, I had a feeling we'd be back pretty quick, so it's amazing, that we're coming back the very next year, it's a great thing, I think.
Awesome.
We're super excited.
Yeah, you've obviously been missed. It's going to be an absolutely epic tour. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Can't wait to have you back in Australia.
Great to talk with you.